Hello, hello. Hey, Facebook. Brandon Simmons here. And I just wanted to touch base with everyone. I wanted to do some really basic training here. I want to do a Facebook Live and talk about what it is, some different techniques that we can do, and some of the ways that we can do that. So thanks for watching this, and if this information is helpful, please like and then share it. That would be great. I really appreciate it. I just want to get the word out, let people know that I just want to put some of this information out there to help some of those that are struggling right now, especially in the wholesale world. So in wholesale real estate, let's say we have a house, and let's say that house is worth $100,000. And ARV stands for after repair value, or the retail value once it's all fixed up and everything, okay? So what I want to talk about is what happens on a deal like this. Like a traditional wholesale deal is usually 70% of that ARV, okay? And then that's going to be minus repairs, and then let's say minus our profit. Okay, now just for simplicity's sakes, let's say for simplicity's sakes, it is a 1,000 square foot home. Okay, and let's say it's not a torn up, ripped up place, but let's say it is a property that's in a nice middle class neighborhood, needs some basic repairs. It's probably more like a rental type property. I usually start out between $15 and $20 a square foot for repairs as an estimate. So let's assume $15 a square foot. If it's 1,000 square feet, that means estimated repairs on this would be around $15,000. Let's say we want to make at least $10,000 on this at a minimum for our profit. So 70% of ARV of the 100,000 is going to be 70,000. So 70,000 minus 15 and minus 10. Okay, so that makes it's $50,000. Okay, so not every seller is motivated enough to take a 50 cents on the dollar offer, but that's really what this would have to work out to be in order to be a good wholesale deal. Is our max offer, or what we refer to as MAO, or a maximum allowable offer, would be $50,000. Okay. Now there's a couple of different things we can think about this, but we have to figure out how can we make this work. What happens if they owe, let's say that they owe $65,000. Now they have to come to close with $15,000, and that's not going to work for them, okay? What do we do in that situation? In this case, that loan is at least, let's say that it's a conventional loan, okay? We might be able to wrap this. And the way this is just real simplistic. I'm not going to go to a lot of details, just giving you the broad overview here. So if they're okay taking a wrap on this and giving some money to move, we might be able to come a little bit more realistic and give them an offer that makes sense. So maybe we give them $5,000 to move, okay? And then we wrap that existing loan, and I'm just trying to make this simple here. But let's say that loan, the payments are, we'll say $800 a month. That's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That's principal, taxes, and insurance. That's everything. So that's your total payment. You're all in every month at $800 a month. Okay, so what I would do, you can do what's called an agreement for sale with an exact wrap. Now, some may want to do a subject to, and that's another area of doing it, another way of doing a seller financing deal as well. Some may be interested in more of a lease option, but I'm going to use a wrap in this case. I'm going to show you how this works. So if they have a conventional loan, they owe $65,000. The monthly payment is $800 a month. So this is the way that this would work. It's an $800 a month payment, PITI. Let's say the rents in this area is $1,200 a month. Okay, so it makes sense because now they can cash flow $400 a month cash flow. What we're going to do is we're going to give the seller $5,000 at close, so a $5,000 Then we're going to wrap that existing loan of $65,000. Okay, so we're going to wrap that payment. And remember, the payment on this is $800 a month. But we're wrapping this loan of $65,000. Now the total purchase price here is $70,000. And the reason why that makes sense to a seller is, first, they get rid of the mortgage. They don't have to worry about it, depending on what's going on in their life, right? Assuming that they are motivated, the situation is correct. And the reason why that makes sense is we still got a lot of equity in that property, even though we may have to do repairs. Even if we're doing $15,000 in repairs and stuff like that, it could make sense because we can either buy and sell that, or we can go ahead, assign this to another investor, and they may keep this as a landlord or as a rental property, because they can make $400 a month cash flow. There's a lot of creative ways. Typically, whenever I do a wrap or an agreement for sale with an exact wrap, I typically never give more than $5,000 down if I'm going to do an assignment. Because if I'm assigning this deal, then whenever I go to sell it, the way this is going to work, let's say I want to make $10,000 on it. So I'm going to ask for $15,000 down. That loan is going to remain the same. The $70,000 loan is going to remain the same. Out of that $15,000, $5,000 goes to the seller, and then $10,000 becomes my profit off the assignment. So I'm going to assign this deal. I'm going to make $10,000, but we're asking $15,000 from the end buyer so we can assign that deal. Okay. And our profit here is going to be the $10,000. That's how we make a profit. Now, what's interesting is we can make this all happen with a regular purchase contract and a one-page agreement. Just a one-page agreement for sale or wrap agreement, okay? You don't have to overcomplicate it, don't have to make this difficult, but just a purchase contract with the wrap addendum, and then we assign those contracts to our end buyer.